Hello, hello, Virgo. Welcome to your June 2019 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Virgo. And I just want to let you guys know that I have officially launched a podcast. The link is in the description box if you want to check that out. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I am going to lay this spread out for you, and then I will get started. Okay, now I'm going to pull these oracle cards. And while I do this, just take a deep breath into the diaphragm and notice anything that's coming up today. If you have a specific intention that you'd like to set on this reading, go ahead and do that now. Hello to those of you who are new to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, the decks that I'm using today are listed in the description box, so you're welcome to check those out if you are interested in any of them. Okay. So the first thing coming up for Virgo in June, so much is a cry for love. Really paying attention to your feelings this month, as well as other people. Like if someone is doing something that is really frustrating for you or is really getting on your nerves or is hurtful, really try to put it into perspective. Now, this is different than just excusing someone's behavior because they had a hard life. I don't agree with that, but it's just about understanding that a lot of things are not personal. Most of the time they're not. So really try to detach from that and just remind yourself that saying hurt people, that's what this is saying. So much is a cry for love. Now I had you guys vote on Instagram which oracle deck you wanted to see, and so Animal Spirit it is. Nightingale, communication, speak your truth, make your offering known. Show yourself to the world. This is all about your song and what you have to share. And I think there's a lot of value in, there's simply a lot of value in you speaking up this month and communicating how you feel and what you think and what you're doing next, and really own your desires. This is also true for manifestations. If manifestations are something that you've kind of had in the works that you've been wanting to focus on, then make sure you're communicating them with conviction, that you're saying like, this is what I declare is coming into my space. Coming from that space of absolute clarity about what you want is the best way to call it in. And then the word of the month is, oh my God, visibility. Claim your bright light. Your perfect co-creators are seeking you out. Allow yourself to be seen. It is safe to be witnessed. Yes, yes, and yes. That is exactly what I was saying with the Nightingale card. It's all about visibility and speaking your truth and allowing yourself to be seen. Like that is big for you in June. It is totally safe for you to be your big, bold self. Okay, now let's look at the central energy for you this month. We have the Fool. A new journey begins, a new experience, a new, it's kind of like you're setting off on this path, and it might feel really scary, but all of the good stuff lives on the other side of that first scary step. So trust that when you're making efforts to do something different or to get somewhere, that your efforts are paid off, you know. And then look, there's even a bird up there as well. So lots of visibility happening. Really try to exercise that this month. What's shifting out for you is the Seven of Cups. I think there were a lot of questions and contemplation and options that you probably had, kind of swirling around in your mind. But I think you finally decided on like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is the plan of action. This is where I'm going. It may have been that you like had 50,000 ideas pop up, and this is about, you know, the movement forward in the right direction. So I think you finally like, you're either in the process of taking that step or you just did it. You just took that step. And so now you're heading off in this new direction. Let's see what the oncoming energy is. Three of Cups. I'm going to clarify this because this is like the good time, friendship, happiness card. Six of Wands. So success. Man, that is definitely coming from your visibility, right? Allowing yourself to be seen and being really explicit about your desires. And that's what this is communicating. That's what the Fool is saying, you know, taking that leap, taking that plunge, diving into that thing. Or if you did that recently, this is showing the payoff. Now, the Three of Cups, more than anything else, it looks like the right people making an appearance in your space. So the co-creators, this is more about like what you want to make happen or what you're building or what you're doing, the right connections, the right practitioners, the right contacts, the right resources. All of that stuff is coming into your space, and that's leading you towards your big goal, your big vision. So that's what and things are going to move really, really rapidly. Remember that ground ivy, you know, this Six of Wands, this grows fast. This is like absolutely sprouting up all over the place. It doesn't care where it grows. It's just focused on expansion. So I think that with the steps that you've taken recently or the ones that you are taking, because remember, you're in the driver's seat, the more action you take and the more serious you take this, the faster things will progress. And I'm getting that like this summer, you're probably going to totally like take off. It's really going to expand rapidly for you. So trust that this month. Now, the 4 cards that I've pulled around this reading, I didn't really set an intention. I kept these a little bit more flexible just to see what's going on. Whatever you need to know is going to come up, and that's what I intended for these. So let's see. The first thing we have is the Page of Cups. Okay, vulnerability. This has to do with even if you don't know exactly how something is going to sound or how something is going to land, you want to speak your truth and make yourself visible regardless. And that's why the vulnerability card is coming up. It's like, it's scary to be seen sometimes, especially if you're used to being invisible or making yourself invisible. This can be really almost like shocking to your system. Like, I'm being seen, I'm being witnessed. And if that's uncomfortable, it can bring up a lot of novel feelings, and it can make you feel really exposed. But this is a part of your growth. And then we have the Queen of Wands, owning your fire, owning your desires, really being okay with just what you're claiming your bright light. That's the perfect description for the Queen of Wands. Claim your bright light. This is all about visibility and being seen, taking the scary step, even if you don't know where you're going to land, and knowing that the net will appear. You have to trust that the net will appear, and that the more you embody the best and highest version of yourself, the more rewards live in that version of you than if you are doing things for other people only, or if you're not considering your true desires, or if you're constantly in a space of self-sacrificing. You know, that isn't going to have nearly as big of a payoff as you owning your truth and living your truth. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles. So I think you've probably casted a wide net, or that's something that's going on this month. Like you might have a lot of plates spinning or a lot of projects that you've started or a lot of things you've initiated, especially with this Fool card. The Seven of Pentacles is just saying that that expansion, that wide net is definitely helping you collect more. Let me see what else is coming up with this. We have the Magician. So there is a level of creation to this. I'm going to clarify these. Six of Cups. Okay, so this is like soulmates coming in, lots of opportunities to meet those right people. It's so funny. I cannot say how like perfectly this card fits with this entire reading. Your perfect co-creators are seeking you out. That's what the Six of Cups is. You've been in the process of manifesting these people or these opportunities or those resources that you're needing to actualize your dream and your reality. And so this is all about it. This is about casting that wide net and taking steps in the direction that you want to go. But the trick to the Seven of Pentacles is you can't focus on perfection. You have to trust that just taking the action alone is enough, even if it's not perfect, even if you don't have all the details hammered out. And I know that's hard as having a lot of Virgo energy. You want to have those nitty-gritty details all put together first before you execute. But this month is really forcing you into a position where you're going to need to do things differently. Take the step, take the action, take the leap. Trust that you're going to be victorious in this endeavor in one way or another, even if it doesn't look exactly how you were expecting it to in the moment. You can really trust the thing you want to experience or the thing you're stepping into is going to follow the feelings that you have. That's a big part of this. So just honor this Six of Cups right here. These people, these connections, I'm getting that's what you're manifesting. Because the Six of Cups is showing up as people, those perfect soulmates for you. Whether or not it's romantic, this would only make sense if you were actually trying to manifest partnership. So for those of you, it would be taking the scary step, being vulnerable, owning who you really are, owning, the standards for who you want to come into your space, and then casting a wide net so this person can make an appearance, right? While coupling that with your manifestation, who you're manifesting, right? So it applies, and of course it's a general reading, so it applies in all contexts. It's just about focusing on what do you want? What are you calling in? Now let's get into the timeline. So the first, second, third, and fourth quarter, that'll be where you end the month of June. But where you start the month of June, we have the Seven of Swords. I think this is where you might be having some fear or doubt, not wanting to be seen, not wanting to be visible. Because look, this little fox down here is hiding. And I think there's probably some decluttering that you've done. So, because this is like where you've started the month, I think May was probably like a whole bunch of purging and like releasing what doesn't fit. That seems to be the energy of this, especially if you were leveling up in May. So let's see what the second quarter brings. We have Death. Ooh, I love, love, love this Death card. And remember that this is what comes after death. It's rebirth. That's what this is the precursor to. So I think it's just about like that scary step, that scary action, that scary risk. That's what the Death card represents, is doing that. The Death card in this context is reading as payoff, because you don't want to stay complacent. You don't want to do things at that lower level. You don't want to do things the old way. You are craving this death and rebirth experience. Like that's pretty much what you've been in the process of manifesting, especially if you're wanting bigger and better things and you're holding a certain standard for yourself and for the things that are coming into your space. You have to go through this. You can't have it both ways, where you get to be comfy, cozy, complacent and have things get astronomically better. So it's kind of like, if you've been begging for bigger and better, this is what comes along with that territory. It's the release of the old, the release of things that no longer work, and the welcoming of the new version of yourself. And with that comes growing pains. Just understand that. Now, the third quarter, we have the Hermit. This is your card. Contemplation, manifestation. Definitely not a bad thing at all here with this Hermit card. It just looks like it's the progression, the natural flow of the way things are going. You know, the pace that's happening here, it's kind of like you're evolving into that next version of you. And it's funny because this is such high contrast to the Visibility card and the Nightingale card. But I think this is pointing more to cultivating your own energy, cultivating your light, cultivating all of the feelings that you're trying to conjure up in order to manifest. That's what the Hermit allows us to do. It's not about crawling into your shell necessarily. It's about embodying the things you are desiring, the people, places, and things that you want in your space, and then allowing that to be magnetically drawn to you by seeking out those people and opportunities, looking for those things that you've been manifesting. Okay, and then wrapping up the month of June, the Magician. Okay, so the Magician again, it's all about those things that you have created or that you are creating, because it never really stops, right? We're constantly in a state of creation. It's just a matter of whether or not you are intentional and actively manifesting or passively manifesting. You guys, and I'm sure you've heard me say that before, but this is all active manifestation. So if you're applying yourself, if you're creating a roadmap for the things that you want, if you're really clear and explicit about who, what you want to come into your space, that's the best way to go about this, and then making it known. So for some of you, maybe you're not necessarily in a context of like being seen. That's not the point. It's not about having a big audience. It's about the right people and the right opportunities being able to find you, the right connections being able to find you. So that's what this is all about, and that's what might be uncomfortable this month. But know that the manifestation never stops. Make sure you're being super intentional, and things are going to really speed up towards the end of June. Now we're going to do a 3-card pick, so you're welcome to pick a card that is calling to you. You can ask a question, you can ask for guidance, whatever makes sense for you. As few or as many cards as you'd like, it does not matter. Card number 1, Page of Cups. It's about that vulnerability. That's the most important piece for you at this time. The Page of Cups is the same card we had up here. I know it's scary to be seen if you're not used to that, or like with the example of like dating, for example. If you're not used to like being your full self and you're used to hiding on dates, then that's something that would be a novel experience. Or if you job interviews, if you don't allow yourself to fully show your capabilities and your capacity in that context, then it's really hard for the right employer to find you and connect with you. So this is all about using what you have and being visible, and with that is the vulnerability. Card number 2, we have Strength, Personal Power. You absolutely can do this and make this happen. There's no reason why you cannot. It's simply a matter of belief. Like, I hate to say it, but like, think about how much you have overcome. Think about all of those times and experiences you've had doing things that you never thought possible, or if you never thought you were going to get out of a situation, but you did. Like, those are the things to focus on at this time to help bolster your next steps. But this is like a strong yes card. Like, yes, you can get that thing. And then card number 3, we have the King of Cups. emotional mastery, healing your wounding. This is a profoundly healing month, especially with the visibility piece, allowing yourself to be seen and heard. That's a big part of healing, especially if you have any parental wounds, particularly. That can be really helpful. And it's kind of like getting rewards just from being yourself is also what the King of Cups reminds us to do. It's like you're already worthy of love. You're already worthy of acceptance. You're already worthy of the things that you desire, and there's no reason why you can't experience those in this lifetime. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. I always, always, always appreciate you, and it is such an honor being able to do these readings for you. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram at Onyx Healing. There's been lots of good stuff going on over there, so make sure you check that out. And just so you guys know, I have made a lot of changes to my website and what exactly I'm offering. So I'm doing way more work with people one-on-one in individual sessions. I have been dialing back the private email tarot spreads that I was doing. I am really taking a step back from those and working with people one-on-one. But if you are interested in doing some energetic healing with me and more of the deep healing work, that is absolutely what I'm available for. And don't forget, I still do lots of tarot on Patreon. There's weekly sign-specific readings, as well as the monthly love and relationship readings for every sign. They're big readings like this. So all of the links for that are in the description box. I hope you check all of that out if you're interested. There's lots and lots of varieties and options for everybody. And don't forget, I have a podcast out now. The link for that is also in the description box. Please check that out. I hope you guys enjoy it. And until next time, I wish you nothing but the best, everybody. Have a wonderful June, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.